Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Madiha and I am back with Raiyan to discuss what Pakistan team is doing. Hello Raiyan, how are you?
Not great.
Of course, I mean, didn't you say that we are going to like easily win all these 3 matches? Pehli mein barish ho gayi, bad luck or good luck, whatever. I mean, what do you think, what's going to happen in that match, and then we'll come back to this match as well.
Yeah, I think New Zealand are the best side of this group.
Yeah.
So we were probably lucky to have that game washed out, especially with the team that we had selected.
So if we had lost that match and obviously we lost yesterday's match also, so हम already बाहर हो चुके होते या still हम जो अब situation में हैं वही calculations चल रही होती?
वही calculations थोड़ी बहुत तो चल रही होती, लेकिन हाँ तब तो almost 99% बाहर होते या हम 85% बाहर हैं.
Okay. Raiyan is sounding really sad and low today. We all can sense that. Acha, let's start with the toss. We selected to, we chose to bat first. Was that a right decision?
Yeah, I think so. It was all right. We're definitely a bat first team. We have a better record batting first. So in a knockout game, they decided to put their best foot forward and they were like, okay, let's bat first.
So best foot forward when you say, how was the opening, and let's talk about what Agha, what Saim, both of them did, what happened with the initial wickets also.
Yeah, so Saim was supposed to be the guy who would take on the power play and then bat through the innings, and what that would get you is that if Saim is batting through the innings, then playing spin gets a lot easier because Saim being there means that they don't bowl their left arm spinner then, and their left arm spinner just got 3 for 23. So that's what Saim would bring to the team, the power play push and the lefty angle, and him averaging 9 in T20 tournaments obviously means that he's doing neither of that. So which is very disappointing and really not what was expected when you look at all of his PSL performances and even the performances he came with initially in the T20 team. After that initial failures he was having, it seemed like he was really growing into his role. And he's just kind of regressed, which is just a bit surprising because he's been given the longest rope of any young batsman and he's been not really moved from his position. He's been played in every game and his bowling means that Pakistan does need him to play. But he's averaging 9, like what are you doing, man?
Yeah. I think with every player, what I'm noticing is that there's a match, जिसमें they're like outshining everyone, and then the other match where they're nowhere to be seen. I mean, what's happening? I think this is typical Pakistani team, which is like very unpredictable, and जिसमें आपको श्योर होता है कि बस ये हो जाएगा, उसमें वो नहीं होता, जिसमें आप उम्मीद नहीं कर रहे होते उसमें they would come and be the star of the match. And what about Agha? Do you wanna like put some light on his role also?
So Agha is in the team to take on spinners in the power play. Like of all the players in the team, I think Agha probably has the easiest role because his role is that देखो ऊपर openers ने थोड़ी बहुत opening की है और नीचे आपके पास बाबर है, तो आपने बस जाके घुमाना है basically कि power play के पूरे advantage लेना है. And throughout this tournament, he's only managed to do that really once, and it's a bit disappointing because leading up to the tournament, he seemed to be finally coming into his own as a T20 player. Obviously, Agha is not the perfect T20 player. He can't play very well outside the power play, but inside the power play, Pakistan have the right to have expectations of him. And he got out to a spinner in the power play, which is supposed to be his positive matchup. So it was really, I keep saying disappointing, but that's pretty much how it was.
I think that's like the, rolled up nicer version of how we all feel, I think. Let's talk about Saibzada Farhan. I think I was really happy to see his inning, but not enough in the end again. What do you have to say about his play?
Yes, Saibzada has played really well for us in this tournament and he's our highest run scorer. He's actually the highest run scorer of the tournament. And he's got runs for us and he's got them at a good rate. Really, you can't fault anything he's done. He's taken on the power play, he's taken on the spinners, and he's really held these innings together best he can. It just was it enough in the end?
Yeah, I know. Like I was watching this match, with my husband, and he said that if we won this match, I mean, on the first inning, obviously, he was like he can be the player of the tournament or the series or whatever. I mean, he's performed really well. Coming back, like you mentioned a while back, that we have still hopes because Babar is down their line, but should we even do that? I mean, what is he doing every episode? We are like looking forward for him to like come out and do something. मगर कुछ हो नहीं रहा है. ये क्या scene है?
It's actually quite funny because Babar, when he started out, he was actually performing his role. He's in the team to play the fast bowlers, so he played Archer really well. And at the end of the power play, he was 10 of 6. So you were like, okay, Babar, you can settle down for a bit and then you can launch. Like this is what you do in every T20 innings. This is basically the stage is set for you. You got that power play push, you got those little extra runs at the start. Now you just have to go at little over run a ball for a few overs and then you can go crazy. And get a good 60 or 40 and everybody will be praising you. But after the power play, he slowed down to such a degree. He got 15 of 18 balls, I think, after the power play, which is just not acceptable in T20 cricket. And then he got out. Actually, him getting out probably was for the best for Pakistan because he wasn't going anywhere with his innings, and he did play out that phase, which could have been potentially hazardous for the other batters because I don't think so they would have played Archer as well as Babar played Archer. So this wasn't even his worst innings of the tournament.
Okay, and what about Fakhr और शादाब का जो cameo था हमारी inning में, उसके बारे में what do you have to say?
I think Fakhr played quite well. He actually exceeded my expectations of Fakhr. He wasn't very comfortable versus Adil Rashid because obviously the ball was turning quite a bit and it's difficult starting out versus spin. But the advantage of Fakhr being at the crease was that England brought on Will Jacks, their off spinner, because they were like, okay, Fakhr's a lefty, let's bowl the off spinner to a lefty. But that played into Sabzada's hands because Sabzada loves off spin. He lives for off spin. So when they brought on Will Jacks to Sabzada, Sabzada was like, okay, my time is now. And they got 2 overs of Will Jacks, they got 27 runs off it. So that was actually one of the positive things that came out of the Fakhr playing. And Fakhr played quite well too. So that was one of the good things that happened.
Okay, so did you feel that the Fahim was missing somewhere and him not being there impacted the inning in any way?
Definitely, Fahim was, his role in the team was to be that guy, jo end mein aaye, power hitting kare. Basically, he's supposed to be the death hitter. He's supposed to be the death hitter, the pace hitter, and it was very clear that Pakistan were missing him at the end of the innings because they didn't have anybody to properly end the innings the way Fahim can end the innings. But that's the sacrifice that they knew they were making and they decided to make because they were like, okay, we really need to beef up the bowling. So they've sacrificed Fahim for that.
Okay, and what do we think about Nawaz's role in the batting lineup?
What I don't understand is that what is Nawaz's role in the batting lineup if Fakhr is playing? Okay, if Fakhr is not playing, then he's supposed to be your left-hander that you throw up in there to make scenarios like the Will Jacks thing happen. But when Fakhr is there, he's already your left-hander in the batting lineup. And you know that Nawaz isn't the best at death hitting, so he's just basically an extra batsman. So at that point, then you're not playing Nawaz for his batting at all. Like you say he's an all-rounder, but he's not really playing for his batting. He's playing purely for his bowling. And then you ask yourself, if Nawaz is purely playing for his bowling, then isn't Abrar a better bowler?
Yeah, I think we were discussing it off camera also that Abrar was needed and him not being there also played a part in that. So to wind up the first inning, I think like from any fan's perspective, I think the runs were not enough. The runs were not enough on the board for us to defend, and for them to chase it was easy, and then we'll come back to their batting as well. So if you have to like just sum it up, our innings, first inning, how we batted, what would you say?
I would say that we definitely lost 10 runs somewhere, whether it was 10 runs in that middle over slowdown with Babar and Sabzada, or whether it was 10 runs we lost because we didn't play for him and we didn't have him to do that late order push that he did. So you lost 10 runs somewhere, or you lost 10 runs when Aga decided not to take on the power play and get out instead. So it's 10 runs that you lost somewhere, but ultimately 170, 180 on this pitch would have been a good target. You were 5 runs off of that.
Yeah, no, I was listening to the commentary as well. Rameez Raja, Wasim Akram, they were saying the same thing. When you were like a bit far from ending the inning, they were like 170 is a good target. And when we ended the inning, they were also like, that's not enough. We might have made, 10 or 11 runs more. And towards the end of the second inning also, they were like, if we had 10 more runs only, I mean, they did also like Pakistan in the end of the day. Let's talk about the start of second inning. Shaheen, I mean, he came back. His redemption was there, but at what time? I mean, do you think it was worth it?
Yes, so Shaheen finally got into rhythm, and it's a theme that you will notice with Shaheen ever since his first World Cup in 2019. Shaheen just kicks into another gear when Pakistan is about to be eliminated, like their qualification is on the line. Shaheen just suddenly locks in and says, okay, I'm going to do this myself. He did it in World Cup 2019. He did it in the World T20 of 22. He even did it in the Asia Cup of 2025. And now he's tried to do it again. It was just not enough, but he was exemplary. The way he got those new ball wickets, a wicket every over, and it was very responsible the way he bowled, because normally what you expect of Shaheen is that he's going to go full pace marega, full length karayega, and he'll swing the ball back in. But how he got those wickets were very smart. He bowled back of a length, used the pitch, and nibbled the ball around. Even his first wicket, it was off an outswinger, which you don't expect of Shaheen. You're like, okay, Shaheen aayega, ball under lekar aayega. And that's probably what Phil Salt was thinking too when he wafted that wide one. But Shaheen was very smart and very responsible, and he did his best.
Yeah, I mean, when you were talking about it, मुझे लगा कि वो अब wrestling में देखते थे ना, वो Undertaker like back from the dead वाला scene लग रहा है. But then I think one or two of the overs were like really expensive of him as well. But then I think उसकी 4 wickets like somehow cover all of that. But again, I think in the end it was not enough, like we were saying a while back. Usman Taik ने actually catch छोड़ा किसका था? ये internet पे क्या frenzy चल रही है? Was it Brook? That wasn't Brook, right?
No, Brook was flawless. He didn't give Pakistan a chance. वो century करके ही जाने वाला था. The catch drop was of Jacob Bethel, and he got out the next over. So it didn't hurt us much.
I mean, I think we all agree to the part that the Brooks innings were like amazing. Like it was so good, and you could tell that uski century to honi hai, the way he was hitting, and he was really flawless. He was like untouchable until he played his part, did his century. So I want to talk about Nawaz ke kuch overs, really expensive overs. Your words, what are they?
Nawaz was given the ball in the 6th over of the power play. Pakistan had around kept England under control. They'd taken 3 wickets. They had 40 odd runs on the board. And if they had closed out the power play well at that scenario, maybe. But Nawaz was given the ball, and he was bowling to 2 right-handers, and he's a left-arm spinner. So you expect him कि चलो बहुत से बहुत 10 run दे देगा. He gave 17 runs in that over, and then वही फिर आपके दिमाग में वही बात चलती कि देखो ये आपको बैटिंग तो इसकी अभी utility नहीं है, तो why don't you just play a better bowler then? Especially when you have the number 2 T20I bowler in the world in your squad. Why not play him?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. When I saw 17 runs, I was like, what is happening? I mean, what's wrong with him? But then, I think that was written to happen with all of us. So, I want to talk about Shadab now. Batting mein, towards the end, I mean, he did play a bit of part in it. And then, I want you to tell me, what do you think about his bowling? I mean, were you happy? Did you agree with all of what he did?
Yeah, Shadab's batting has really been useful this tournament. I think almost every game he's brought in some useful runs. whether it was that USA game or the game against Namibia or this game. He's come to the party with his batting. The bowling, not so much, because Shadab's bowling still is not perfect, and he's very much the fifth bowler of this side. And that sometimes comes back to hurt Pakistan, because when the batters are looking for someone to attack, they attack Shadab. Now, when they attack Shadab, obviously there's a chance that Shadab gets wickets, but there's also a chance that Shadab will go for runs, because he's clearly the weakest bowler in this bowling lineup currently. So he got targeted by Brook when Brook decided that it was time to put the pedal down, and then he also went for 17 runs.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, again, unpredictable. क्या कह ही सकते हैं. I want to talk about this another bowler which is very dangerous and people are like sort of scared of him, Usman Tariq. I think he performed really well as well. What do you have to say about him?
Yeah, Usman Tariq bowled beautifully. I felt he went a bit too back of a length early on, but later on actually. But he still was the best bowler on show, I think, after Shaheen maybe. And he definitely gave it his all. His utilization was a bit weird, but I can understand it in the sense that they were scared that if we bowl out Usman right now, then who are we going to bowl later? And that was very much a scenario of they'd put all their eggs in one basket, in the Usman basket, that okay, Usman's going to be our main spinner. When again, I don't know, I'm saying this again and again, but if you had Abrar, then you wouldn't have to put all your eggs in the Usman basket. You could have distributed the overs more clearly between the two.
Yeah.
Abrar could have bowled up front, and then you could have held Usman's overs back. But Abrar wasn't there, so what they had to do was they bowled one Usman over, he got a wicket, and then they were like, okay, let's sneak in a few overs of like Shadab and Nawaz before we'll get Usman back, and then we'll ask him to take another wicket. And that's not how it works, bro. Like, you can't like expect him ke har over mein ye aake wicket dega aapko. You have to let him get into his spell and basically squeeze the batsman. But they couldn't afford to do that, because if they allowed him to do that, then end mein kaun karata.
Yeah. Talking about unrealistic expectations and delusion, I agree कि me and I'm sure a lot of people watching would agree कि last over में थोड़ी सी उम्मीद तो आ गई थी. Wickets गिर रही हैं दोबारा, can we do it? What if we win it? Like हम लोग वाकई इतने delusional हो गए यार. Did you feel the same?
मैं अपनी बता देता हूँ. When Shaheen was bowling to Brook and he hit that 6 over extra cover, I left the room. मैं अब्बा वहाँ बैठे थे, मैं कहा छोड़, ये मैच चला गया, मैं इनको नहीं देखूँगा हारते हुए. So I left the room, and then I went upstairs. I sat down in my bed, and थोड़ी देर में बैठा रहा wallowing in कि क्या हो सकता था, क्या नहीं हो सकता था. फिर मैंने कहा score check करते. And in the score they needed 5 of 10 and 2 wickets गिर गई थी. So I shamelessly opened the stream again.
Like all of us.
मैंने stream खोल ली और फिर हमको हारते हुए देख लिया.
Yeah. And that was all of us. All in all, do you think there was something wrong with the captaincy, how the decisions were made and how we chose to do things the way we did yesterday?
Aga's biggest down point of the day was definitely his batting. Your performance comes first and your captaincy comes second. So his batting disappointed first of all. Other than that, I can understand some of the decisions he made. Obviously, in hindsight, maybe you should have bowled Usman more at the start, but I understand why he did that. But then again, you have to ask yourself, why do I have to do that when there is another bowler that I could have just played, and captaincy with team selection bhi aa jati hai. And finally, bowling that last over, I would have gone with a spinner. It's basically a rule of thumb that if there's less than run a ball required in the last over, you usually bowl a spinner, because वो field थोड़ी सी अंदर आ जाती है, batsman को pace नहीं मिलता है, and both of the English batsmen that were playing, they're not good players of spin. So you could have potentially bowled like Saim to these guys. Archer ने कभी Saim की carrom ball तो देखी नहीं होगी, maybe you could have got a wicket, maybe पे ही बात रहेगी, but I don't think so. A fast bowler was defending 3 of the last over. A spinner potentially could. Pakistan know this better than anyone because there was a match in 2013, I think it was, where Pakistan had 2 wickets in hand against Australia, obviously, and Glenn Maxwell bowled the last over, and Pakistan couldn't even get those 3 runs and they lost the match. But that was Pakistan, and Pakistan didn't even put them in a position to have that happen.
Absolutely. And coming back, the same question I ask in these sort of situations, are we still hopeful somehow that we're going to go ahead, move forward in the competition, get semi-finals somehow? I'm clear that we have to win the next match, right, with Sri Lanka. What other factors are there except for Qayamat ke, you know, hum qualify kar jayenge? Is there any hope left?
Hope is always there, but आपको बस scenarios बता देता हूँ मैं कि if we win versus Sri Lanka and if New Zealand lose both of their games, we are through. Obviously, New Zealand are the best side of the group, so I don't see that happening. If New Zealand even lose one game, then potentially what happens is that we just have to beat Sri Lanka in a scenario, net run rate scenario, and our net run rate is decent because we lost this match quite close and we didn't lose any net run rate in the New Zealand washout. So in that sense, our net run rate sahi hai. So if New Zealand lose big in one of their games and then they only win one game and then we beat Sri Lanka, तो वो जो आपको मीम पता है कि फिलहानी टीम इससे हार जाए तो फिर
Oh my God, that is crazy. That's what we always do. I knew this was coming and it was so funny. And इतने shameless हो जाते हैं हम लोग अपनी टीम को support करने के चक्कर में कि see, we know all these calculations, all these maths going on. वही वाली मीम जिसकी मैं हमेशा बात करती हूँ कि न्यूजीलैंड अगले 2 मैचेस हार जाए, ये नहीं हो सकता I think, and should not happen. In my personal opinion, they should not move ahead. Sorry if I'm offending anyone. I think you want to say something.
Yeah, speaking of shameless, there's a scenario where Pakistan don't win a single game and they qualify for the Super 8, and that's if the Sri Lanka New Zealand game get washed out, New Zealand lose to England in a large deficit, and then Pakistan versus Sri Lanka gets washed out. Then Pakistan qualify without having won a game.
See, like I was saying, shameless supporting and, you know, delusional supporting also. Okay, so I think that was it for this episode of Boundary Baithak from me and Raiyan. We will come back again after Sri Lanka versus Pakistan's match, and let's see what happens in that match. And you guys should also comment and let us know what do you think, what are your predictions के कौन जीत रहा है, क्या हो रहा है उस मैच में, and are you also shamelessly supporting Pakistan still to, you know, move ahead in the competition? We all will find out after the next match, and till then, this is me and Raiyan signing off.